everybody. Welcome to Rachel's Reviews. We're so excited today. We are here to talk about the fall movie season. And for the sake of these preview shows, we kind of divide everything into the 3-month blocks. And so we, since summer has been stretched out to like 5 months these days, we actually consider May, June, and July summer, and we consider fall August, September, October. So that's why it might seem a little bit weird. But anyway, that's what we're doing. And we have so much fun doing this. And I'm Rachel, and my friend David is here.
Hi, thanks for having me again, as always.
Yes, and if you are watching the video feed on YouTube, you will see it's very exciting.
Yes, I'm wearing one of Rachel's shirts.
That your new favorite shirt?
Yes, it is. I sleep in it. No, I'm kidding.
It's just really, I
I like it. And it's green. I love green. So.
Yeah, I like the green. It's really cute. So thank you very much. I'll have a link
everybody
down.
should go buy one.
Yes, I have a link in the description section if y'all want to look as fashionable and stylish as David.
Exactly.
And you can get my shirt as well, the Animation Junkie shirt, and that's a lot of fun. So anyway, thank you for doing that.
No problem.
So we were kind of talking that it's been kind of a weird year, especially the summer has been kind of underwhelming. For movies, like there haven't been that many that we've loved, and we'll kind of bring that into this next. I feel like August has really kind of become the new January in a lot of ways, kind of this dumping ground, and particularly this year, there's not that much that that I'm excited about.
Yeah, I feel the same way, and I think what's kind of evident of this is that a lot of these movies are those ones that have been pushed back. So we're going to come across a lot of movies that we've actually previewed before, but they've been pushed back month after month. So
Yeah.
Not a good sign.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's interesting, and hopefully there'll be some surprises that come out of nowhere that we'll talk about in our wrap up. There were a couple for the summer. There are a couple, definitely some movies that came out and surprised me. I don't know if we'll agree on the same ones, but there've been a few. So hopefully some of these will end up being a lot better than we think. But yeah, I'm not that high on most of these movies, although you did get me to watch a bunch of scary trailers.
My plan worked.
Yes.
I'm going to convert her one day.
All right. Well, we're going to start off with one other weird thing is that this summer, particularly in July, there weren't very many movies even that were screened for critics. It was weird. Like we only had here in Utah. I'm sure there were way more in like LA and New York, but even still, usually we have like 1 or 2 screenings a week, and we had like 3 or 4 this whole month. It's crazy. It's been kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a weird month anyways, because they've only been doing like 1 or 2 major releases a week, which is pretty strange for July.
Yeah, and like movies that should have gotten screened, like something like Crawl, which I really enjoyed. I don't know if you ended up enjoying it, but at the very least, should have gotten screened for critics. Like, there's nothing that's like atrocious about it. It's not like one of those movies that are like, hide, you've got to hide it. It's so bad, and so I don't know. It was just very, very weird, very weird. I felt like everybody was so scared of Lion King, which I don't know. I don't really understand that. So it was just a very odd month, July. So anyway, so let's talk about the movies. We're going to start off with one of the only, there's a few franchise films, but this is probably the biggest franchise film in this group that we're going to talk about is Fast and the Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw. This comes out on August 9th. And I really hated the first trailer, where it was, I don't know, you've got Idris Elba taking this like serum, and it was like, it felt like a, I don't know, like a Ninja Turtles movie. I know these movies are always over the top, but there's a difference between over the top and like superhero stuff to me. And this, I don't know. So I felt like the last trailer was a little bit better, but I'm still not super excited about it. How do you feel?
Yeah, so I have a pretty broad horizon of movies that I enjoy, but this is not the type of movie for me. I've only seen one of the Fast and Furious movies,
Oh.
and that was in high school, which was a while ago. But yeah, I just don't have much interest. I mean, it does seem like it's taking itself less seriously than the other ones based on the trailers, because that's all I have to go off of.
Hmm.
But yeah, I don't think it looks great. I'm sure it'll do pretty well though.
Yeah, especially in China, it will do very, very well in China, unless they finally reach their breaking point. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, I like The Rock and I like Jason Statham, and I think they were the best part of the last Fast and Furious movie, which it was disappointing in my opinion. So it could be fun to see them together. You know, I'm definitely gonna miss Vin Diesel, but I don't know. It's a movie franchise to me is very up and down. Like I think 5, 6, and 7 were all pretty good. There are a couple others that are okay, but this one, yeah, I'm not super excited about it. So I think I would still say, if we were gonna say our prediction level, if we were gonna say excited, not excited, and just kind of meh, I'd probably say I'm just kind of meh on it. But,
Yeah, I'm not excited at
yeah.
all. So
Okay, good. So, all right. Next, we have Dora and the Lost City of Gold, and this is we definitely previewed this in
right,
the last show because it was supposed to come out in July. Now it's coming out August 9th. And for me, I just feel like this is such a missed opportunity. Maybe it'll end up being really charming. Who knows? But I don't know. I just making Dora a teenager, I feel like was a mistake, because why can't she be a little girl like she is in the show? And I don't know, it just feels super generic and a missed opportunity because like the show has a ton of stuff where it breaks the fourth wall, and Dora will talk to the audience and say, where should I go? Should I go, this way, or should I follow this way? Or would you see the map? And the kids will say, literally, like kids will yell back to the screen, the map's up there, or whatever, and it's in the tree. And it's very interactive that way. And so if somebody was creative, you could kind of add that element into the story and have it be kind of have that sort of fourth wall breaking and make it kind of, I don't know, I feel like there's so much potential here and it just feels like it's going to be a missed opportunity. But I don't know, what do you think?
yeah. So I've noticed lately that if there's some sort of movie based on something that's beloved by kids that I didn't have part of my childhood, I end up not really enjoying it. I give it a chance, but I don't really enjoy it like a lot of other people do. And that's probably going to be the case here. Like I don't know anything about Dora the Explorer. I've seen maybe like 10 minutes of it in my life. So I just this is not for me. I don't think I'm going to like it. The trailer doesn't do anything for me. Um, I don't have a problem with the casting, but then again, I don't care about this show, so my opinion is probably not the right one to ask about.
But it just feels like, who's this movie for? Like if it's for, like, I don't think that teenagers are going to be excited about going to a Dora the Explorer movie, and yet you made her a teenager. And I think kids, why not make her a little girl? I think kids could, I don't know. It just seems weird to
Yeah,
me.
I see what you're
What
saying.
are they making it for?
There might be some sort of nostalgia for teenagers who grew up watching it and they want to give it a chance. So maybe there might be some sort of appeal to see her growing up with them. I'm not sure.
Maybe, but I feel like it's the kind of thing that like teenagers are more likely to be kind of embarrassed by,
Yeah.
even though it's not really embarrassing. But I don't know, because I feel like things like Barney and things like, I don't know, Teletubbies or whatever, you like them as a little child, but it's like not the kind of thing that you usually feel like nostalgia over. I don't know if that makes sense, but
That's fair. I mean, I can't think of anything that kiddish that I liked when I was pretty
like
young.
Sesame Street, I guess, has more nostalgia.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I could watch a Sesame Street movie. I don't know.
You should follow that
Follow
bird.
that bird. I have it
It's
on DVD.
hilarious.
It's
You
great.
absolutely should watch that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not excited about this.
Yeah, me neither.
So, all right. Next on the ninth, we have Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. And so this is one of your scary movie trailers that I
Yeah.
watched. And I don't know, I was not that into this trailer. I thought that it felt pretty bland. And I think this is a book, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
Mhm.
But it was like sort of grown up ghost goosebumps kind of, to me it
Yeah,
looked like.
yeah. I mean, my sister and I used to actually have these books, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, and they always had these very like grotesque drawings on the cover, and they would creep me out, even though I was probably 10 reading these. So it's kind of fun for me to see that they're making a movie of it, and knowing that Guillermo del Toro is a producer for this. Um, I think it looks really good based on the trailer. There was a first trailer that I wasn't interested in, but the second one has me a lot more intrigued.
Mm,
So I think it'll be fun. I recognize most of the stories that they reference in the trailer,
mm.
so I'm very intrigued actually.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean it's obviously not my normal genre. So you're not concerned at all that it's PG-13, and that makes sense with the books, I guess.
Yeah, I guess that does make sense with the books. I mean, because they were geared towards children. They are, you could say, grown up Goosebump, but they were still targeted to children. So I guess it's children who have parents that don't care as much what they read. So,
Hmm.
um, but yeah, I don't think that will be too much of an issue. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see. So I would give that one a not excited for me.
I'd give it a pretty excited yes.
Uh, okay, good. All right, next we're on to the 14th of August. We have The Kitchen. And this stars Melissa McCarthy and a bunch of
Mhm.
other people. And I'm a little confused by this movie. I feel like, is it going to be funny? I don't know. I couldn't tell.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be serious, which threw me off when I first saw the trailer. Um, which is kind of disappointing because I'd heard about this for a while and I was kind of looking forward to this idea as a comedy. But as a drama, I mean, we just had Widows. I don't need to see the same type of movie again so soon and in a much less interesting way. I think it looks pretty boring, to be honest.
Hmm. Yeah. It seems like the casting is strange.
Yeah, it is strange. Isn't Elizabeth Moss in this too? Or
Mhm.
am I okay? And I do like her.
And Melissa McCarthy can do drama, certainly.
True.
But I don't know. It kept feeling like the tone of the trailer that I was like waiting for a
Mhm.
joke for some reason. And
Yeah.
I don't know. It was odd.
Yeah, it reminds me how I felt about the Sisters Brother when that came out last year. I thought it would be a comedy, and it really just wasn't.
Mhm.
So I don't know. Maybe there will be funny moments, or maybe Melissa McCarthy's just really trying to break away from that box. She doesn't want to be typecasted as that comedic character that falls down all the time. So I don't know. I think she's overcorrecting a bit too much.
Yeah, yeah. Well, she might want to work on the movies she makes with her husband. I don't know. It felt like it was sort of almost a Paul Feig movie, but then it wasn't. I don't know. It was weird. So I'd give it a meh. It could be surprising to just have a kind of a bad trailer, but yeah, I'm going with meh on it.
Yeah, I'll agree with you and give it a meh as well.
So I actually skipped one. So we have on the ninth, we have The Art of Racing in the Rain. This is based on a book, and it's I think, the final in our Ode to Dogs this year. We've had all these dog movies. Um, and I think this looks sweet, sentimental. And so I think it'll probably be the best of these dog movies. The last one was terrible, The Dog's Journey or whatever. That was awful. But I don't know. I think it looks fine.
Yeah, it does look fine. I'm just a little, I guess, burned out on these type of movies with the dogs talking and uh
Yeah, it's so weird.
yeah, it is weird. I don't know why it's so popular. I mean, I liked them when I was a kid. I lived Homeward Bound, but this is no Homeward Bound. None of them are, to be honest. But mm, I think I'm not the target demographic for these movies, even though I do like dogs.
Yeah, I'm still gonna say I'm gonna say excited just because I don't know. I thought it looks sweet enough and sentimental enough, and I think
I'll give
it'll.
you that.
But I can understand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'll probably skip it, to be honest. So
Okay.
I'm not excited.
Okay, good. All right. Then on the 14th, we have Blinded by the Light. And I've already seen this movie. I saw it at Sundance and I absolutely loved it. It was my favorite movie at Sundance. I thought it was
What?
just so joyful and exuberant. And if like you've been a fan of anything, I feel like you'll be able to connect with this kid, becoming a fan of Bruce Springsteen. It's not as much about Bruce Springsteen, it's just about him connecting with something and being excited. And I just absolutely loved it. I thought it was just great. And I'm not even that big a fan of Springsteen, but the way they used the music was really creative. And it's just a movie that makes you want to like cheer at the end. I really, really love it. And I feel like they're actually doing a pretty good job marketing it. So I hope that people go out and give it a shot because I think they'll really find something that's heartwarming.
Yeah, I think it has a lot of the right ingredients for me, and I do like seeing more diversity in my films, so that's good. My one concern has been that it's about or that it involves Bruce Springsteen's music so much, and I just don't really care about Bruce Springsteen, so that makes me feel better to hear that it's more about being a fan of something in general. So I'm definitely going to check it out. And hopefully I'll like it as much as you do.
Yeah, I mean, I hope people will like it and give it a shot because I don't know. I just felt so happy after I saw it. It was
Good.
just very. Some people will probably say it's a little cloying or a little too cheesy or whatever, but I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. And female director, Grenda Chada, she did Bend It Like Beckham. I don't know if you've seen
Okay.
that,
No.
which was also a very sweet little movie. And she did another one called I think it was called The Viceroy's House last year. That was also pretty decent, pretty sweet. But this is my definitely my favorite first. And there've been so many movies that people have said, oh, this is the next Sing Street. And so I've just been kind of like, whatever. But then I watched this and I actually feel like this is as close. It's not as good as Sing Street because Sing Street has their own songs, but
Right.
it definitely taps into that same kind of feel of Sing Street and the same kind of tone, I think, very well. So
Cool.
anyway, so okay, now on to the 16th of August, we have the Angry Birds movie 2. And I think this looks fine. It doesn't look great. The animation looks pretty good. It looks similar to the first one, which I thought was animated pretty well. I think the first one really suffered, in my opinion, because of trying to shoehorn all this adult content into this movie that I think should have just been for kids. And so the humor I thought didn't really work at all, especially anything dealing with that eagle. That whole sequence was not good. But then there were other parts about it that I liked. Also, I thought the message in the first one was weird, like being more angry. Like what? Like what? Why are we teaching kids this? I don't know. It was weird. But this one, it looks fine to me. The pigs and the birds working together and defeating the bad guy.
Yeah.
Mm,
So this is actually the definition of meh for me.
yeah,
The
exactly.
first one, I couldn't tell you hardly anything about it. It just didn't leave an impression on me. And the trailers for this, I keep seeing them at the movie theater, but I just don't remember anything about it. The only thing that kind of stands out is that at one part in the trailer, like a bird like poops out a pig or something. I don't know. It just comes, he turns around and he comes out of his butt. So that threw me off.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll probably watch this, but I don't expect good things from it.
Yeah.
So yeah, meh.
The the one of the weird things that I remember about the Angry Birds movie is that I was assigned to do the DVD review for rotoscopers.com, and it was like the most stacked DVD I've ever seen. Like they had so much bonus features. The bonus features were probably way better than the movie. In fact, they had like a craft tutorial, they had this dance tutorial. Like it I was like, wow. So I think there's sometimes a correlation between the quality of the movie and the amount of bonus features they think they have to add to make it a good movie. But anyway, yeah, it was a frustrating. The original was frustrating to me just because I felt like it was actually really close to being a really fun movie, but then just little things made it not fun. And so hopefully they took those things and made it better. But yeah, I'm with you on the meh on this one. So all right. Then we have 47 meters down uncaged. And I'm one of the few people who really had a fun time with the original 47 meters down. I actually saw it twice in theater. I like creature scares movies. And I liked the idea of of a shark movie that's underwater. So you get to see the whole shark as opposed to just the fin kind of a thing. And, them being underwater and they've got this time thing that's ticking, 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 ticking. I thought it worked. I thought it was fun. I thought the ending was actually kind of creative the way they did it. But I know most people hated it. Uh, but this looks terrible. It looks super schlocky and not in a fun way to me. And it looks cheap. Where I thought the first one actually looked pretty good for the budget. This looks really cheap. Yeah, not interested, not excited. Much as I like shark movies.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that the first one made more money than they expected, so they had to rush out a sequel. And yeah, this does not look very good to me at all. And I wasn't a big fan of the first one. I know you liked it, but this one looks so much worse, to be
Yeah.
honest. So,
Like the whole appeal of the first one is that they are caged,
mhm.
in there's this, like I said, this ticking clock of like they only have so much air, and whereas this, like, you don't even, I don't know, it just looked really stupid.
Mhm.
Oh well.
Not
Okay.
excited.
Not excited. Agreed. Okay, next is Good Boys. This got a big buzz out of South by Southwest. But I was very meh on this trailer. It's just not for me at all. The idea of like, haha, isn't it so funny? These little kids like swearing and doing horrible things. It's not for me. So definitely not excited. But
Yeah, I think it looks not bad. It seems like we get these kind of movies a little too frequently lately.
yeah,
But I do like the cast. I like Jacob Tremblay a lot. So it could be pretty good. There's some parts of the trailer that definitely make me laugh out loud when I see it in the theater. Um, but yeah, it doesn't look like it's for everybody. But I'm mildly excited.
yeah. So you'd be a meh
Uh,
or full on
if
excited?
I had to group myself, I'd just say excited, I guess.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. On the 16th, we have The Informer. Now, this movie, I think the original trailer was from like 2018. I think
Hmm.
it's gotten pushed back a bunch of times. It looked fine to me. it looked average. You've got this informant in jail. I mean, it looked like it could be good, but the fact that it's being released in August, and I don't know, I just thought it looked okay.
Yeah, I think this was originally supposed to come out in January. So it's been pushed back a bit. That's the theme with these movies. But yeah, I agree with you. It doesn't do much for me. I don't know the lead at all. Um, I I don't know. It just doesn't bring a lot of what interests me about movies. So I'm
Yeah, Joel
very not
Kinnaman,
excited.
and then Rosamund Pike plays the one of the police officers.
Right.
Yeah, so I would go meh on this one.
Yeah, I'd say not excited at all.
Hmm. So then we have Where'd You Go, Bernadette? And yeah, we have previewed this at least twice before. I think it was scheduled to come in out in March, and then it was scheduled to come out in May, I think. And I don't know, it just keeps getting bumped, which is never a good sign. It's kind of surprising with the cast that it has because you've got Kate Blanchett, and I know you don't like him, but Richard Linklater is a pretty big name director. Like to have this kind of problems is odd. Based on a popular book. I have to say, I've read the book since the last time we previewed it, and I did not like the book at all. I thought the characters were super, super selfish and irritating. And it's not really a romantic comedy, but it's kind of in that tone of a romantic comedy. And but in order for romantic comedy to work, you have to have likable characters that you're like invested in. And at least in the book, I was not invested in these characters at all. I think like trying to find their mom in Antarctica could be an interesting setting, but now after having read the book, I'm definitely not excited about this one.
Yeah. The thing that kind of bothers me about this trailer is that it's very obvious that this is a book adaptation just watching the trailer. Like it feels like the dialogue, the narration,
Yeah.
it's almost as if they wanted to make a movie from this book, but they didn't know how to do it with some sort of realism. And I think that just tells me that this movie's it probably shouldn't have been made if you can't have it stand alone.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'm not very excited. And I remember very specifically, this was supposed to come out last fall originally. So it's been pushed back quite a bit. But yeah, I'll still give it a meh because I
Hmm.
do like some of the cast.
Yeah. I mean, Kate Blanchett, you can't not like.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's very weird situation. So okay, next we have Ready or Not. This is on the 23rd of August, and I think this trailer looks pretty fun. It kind of has a bit of I would say, sort of a Get Out
Hmm.
vibe to it. Would you say? I mean, it's got a pretty great cast. I thought it looked fun.
Yeah, I think it looks pretty fun too. I think there is a high variance for quality here. It could be really bad or really good.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I've been surprised by some of these horror movies that I would think look bad, but they end up being better as of late.
Yeah.
So I'm cautiously optimistic about this. I've seen the lead girl in a few things. I saw her in a movie called Mayhem that came out, I think last year or the year before with Stephen Yeun, and it was really good. She reminds me a lot of Margot Robbie. My only issue is that the trailer like gives away several of the deaths.
She does look a lot like Margot Robbie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I've said that to a few of my friends too, and they're like, wait, that wasn't Margot Robbie.
yeah.
So,
She really does. I don't know. I just thought it hopefully they'll kind of lean into the camp a little bit
mhm.
and make
I
it
think they
fun.
will
Yeah.
for sure.
That's what it looked like in the trailer.
Mhm.
So I don't know. Hopefully they won't take itself too seriously and it'll
Right.
just be kind of fun. Like that's why I thought it was sort of Get Out in the sense not that that movie was campy, I would say, but I don't know, just some of the way that it worked in humor in with the horror elements in Get Out. I feel like you have that potential here in this as well. So we'll see. But I liked the trailer. I thought it was a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, me
So
too.
I would
I'm
say
excited.
excited.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, it was kind of funny because I felt like right around the same time that I first saw this trailer was when I saw the Knives Out trailer,
Oh yeah.
and I'm like, what is everybody? This is everybody's trying to remake Clue. All this like all of a sudden
Exactly.
thing. But anyway, so then we have Angel Has Fallen. This is a sequel to all of the Olympus Has Fallen and London Has Fallen.
Hmm.
And I actually haven't seen either of those films.
Okay.
They just didn't look like they appealed to me. I'm not a big Gerard Butler fan. I
Mm.
post like P.S. I love you. I haven't liked any of his movies. Uh, I just think this looks a lot worse made than either of those just from trailers. I thought that it looked really cheap. And yeah, I didn't think it looked good at all. I thought it looked kind of direct to DVD.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like they're phoning this franchise in a bit, and hopefully this is the end. I did watch Olympus Has Fallen. I didn't watch London Has Fallen. I'm not even sure why I went to see Olympus Has Fallen. I probably was convinced by a friend. But yeah, once again, these aren't my kind of movies.
Hmm.
Um, and we got a lot of these kind of movies to talk about. There's one that I think looks pretty good, but we'll get to that later. But this one is a not excited.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, definitely. So okay, then we have on the 23rd, we have Brittany Runs a Marathon. So this was a huge hit at Sundance. Everybody loved it. I went to see it expecting to love it because it's about this plus size girl decides to start running. And as somebody who's done marathon swimming as a plus size person, I thought, oh, I'm going to really connect with this. I'm going to really like it, and I didn't like it. I was one of the only people at Sundance who didn't like it. I just felt like she was awful. She was so rude and unkind to people. And just because you're trying to lose weight does not give you carte blanche to be a jerk like to people in your life. And she was really rude to her boyfriend. She was really rude to her running buddies. Like, I have no idea what anybody in this story put up with this woman. Like, she was the worst, in my opinion. I was very disappointed by it. That's just my opinion. But most people were like, oh, it was so big hearted and they loved it. So who
Mhm.
knows? But what did you think of the trailer?
I think it looks pretty good. I do like Jillian Bell, I believe her name is. I think she's pretty funny.
Uh-huh.
Um, and I
I
see
had
what you're
never
saying.
seen it. I had never seen her in anything.
Oh, okay.
Was she on the
Um,
Saturday Live or something?
no, she's been in a few comedies. She was in The Office Christmas Party. She
Oh.
was in Rough Night. Um, I think she's been in a couple other things, but she always makes me laugh.
Hmm.
But yeah, I see what you're saying. Like, it's frustrating if a character's unlikable. I hope, no spoilers, but I hope she gets some sort of redemption arc if her character is
Mm-hmm.
kind of crappy like that. Um, and if they can get away with that, then I think it's justified because that's fairly normal to see characters kind of realize their flawed ways or uh, personality problematic issues. I don't know. But
Yeah. It kind of it ends up being, do you enjoy the journey of the character?
mhm,
Didn't, but most people did. So you probably will as well. But that
yeah,
was my experience. So it'll be interesting if I do get a chance to revisit it. Because there's nothing like when you're at Sundance and there's like this huge hype, first of all, for a film, one of the, the festival darlings. But then
mhm,
also, there's just nothing like seeing, 4 or 5 movies sometimes in one day. And it's so it's just it's its own experience, the festival. So it'd be interesting to see if I'm a little nicer to it, if I revisit it. I don't know,
right. Yeah.
but anyway.
But yeah, I think it looks good. I think it doesn't feel like the normal formula of having a plus size woman lead. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so then we have Burn. This is the 30th, and it's about this girl that is mentally unstable, that it works at a gas station. It ends up getting robbed, but she ends up holding up this thief in the gas station and basically kind of tortures him, is what it looked like to me. And I don't know, for people that like this kind of thing, it looked okay. It's definitely not for me, but I thought it was an okay trailer. What do you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah, I hadn't really heard much about this movie until recently, but yeah, I think the trailer looks intriguing. It doesn't give much away, which is always nice. But yeah, it just left me very curious about how everything's gonna unfold.
Hmm.
Um, I don't really know anybody in the cast, but I am still intrigued, so I'll say excited.
Hmm. Yeah, the lead guy was in the Hunger Games.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
right. You're
Josh Hutcherson or something.
yes, Peter.
So, yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's not for me, but I think it looked fine for what it is. So maybe I'll say like a meh, but I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I've been trying a little bit this year to go out of my comfort zone
Right.
with some things to see.
I'm making you do it. Not really.
Um, so then we have Playmobil the movie. I've done I think at least one, if not two, trailer reactions for this movie on my channel. But I think that this movie, I'm just hoping that it'll be better than it looks. But I don't have a lot of hope for it. The thing is, I just think the comedy just does not look good at all, and the animation is pretty generic. And so, and I feel like I'm a little more forgiving on that sort of level of animation than other people might be. Like I even liked Rock Dog, which is not the greatest animation, but I enjoyed it. Uh, this I feel like it could be a surprise, but it's a reach. The trailer was not great.
Yeah, I agree with you. Actually, the animation is what I had the least issue with on this one.
Hmm.
But there were definitely parts of the trailer that you could tell they're setting up a joke and you're
Yeah.
supposed to laugh while watching the trailer, but I just like I would have to completely force myself to laugh because it just wasn't funny. And that's not a good sign if the funny parts in the trailer aren't funny.
Yeah, I
Um,
agree completely about the humor. I think it's gonna lose a ton of money. Like maybe over in Europe it might do better, but I think it'll do very poorly
yeah.
here. And even if it is surprisingly good, I think it'll still do very poorly because even obviously this was greenlit after the success of the Lego movie.
Mhm.
But the thing is that even the Lego movie sequels have not done as well as we think that they would. I mean, I think they made a small profit except for Ninjago, but still they have not been huge successes. And so if the actual Lego movies and Lego Batman even have underperformed, they're probably wishing that they could go back and not greenlit this. is my is my guess, but
Yeah.
yeah, so I say not excited.
Yeah, I'm not excited. And am I missing something? What is Playmobil? Like, is this a
It's like a
thing?
toy. It's kind of
Oh,
like,
okay. So it's a real toy?
yeah, it's a real toy. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's kind of like Legos, but it's like a Fisher Price kind of, it's like a cross between, it's like a younger version, maybe a little bit of Legos, kind of. I don't
Okay.
know, but they have all different sets and stuff that you can buy.
That makes
But
sense. For some reason, I had seen like the name of this movie for several months now, and I just thought it was going to be like one of those mobiles that like
oh,
over a baby's crib. And so I watched this and I'm like, wait,
like
these
a
are
horror movie or
basically,
something.
yeah. I was like, these are basically Legos. Those aren't,
Yeah, they are. They're basically Legos. They're like a kind of a cross between a doll and a Lego. I know
yeah.
they're like a little bigger,
Okay.
and I don't know, but yeah, I bet you they Greenland was super excited after Lego Movie, and then now they're wishing, oh, we shouldn't have done that. But
I mean, how much more of a blatant ripoff can you get here?
yeah,
But mm,
yeah, I know. And they could have done something fun with it, but and maybe they will. Who knows? We haven't seen it, so we'll see.
true.
But I'm
Yep.
definitely not excited.
Me neither.
So, all right, then we get it chapter 2 on the 13th, and I can't believe this movie is going to be almost 3 hours long. Like, what is going on with that? But it's a good trailer. It's definitely not for me. I didn't see the first one. It
Did
looked
you watch
terrifying.
did you watch both trailers though?
I think I watched the most recent
Okay.
trailer where you see him washing his face and stuff, and it looked terrifying. Yeah, and then I'd seen the one with the old lady
Okay, yeah.
a bunch of times. That's the same lady from The Visit, I think.
Oh, okay. I was
Pretty
thinking
sure.
she looked familiar, but I couldn't quite place it.
Yeah, I think it looks good for people that like the first one. Seems like you'll
You
like
think it
it.
looks good for me?
Yeah, I think it looks good. But it looks
I agree. I think it looks very good for me. Yeah, the first trailer that they released with the old woman, I was like, "Ooh, is this supposed to be funny?" But I really liked the second trailer. It looked sufficiently creepy, which the first movie was very creepy. So I'm extremely excited about this. Since It Chapter One was in my top five of 2017. So I'm hoping this can crack that same spot.
Are you at all nervous about that length? Or you're fine with it?
Not really. I mean, I'm used to growing up with the miniseries, which was super long. They've added some stuff into this. So the first movie is about the kids. This one's about the adults, but they've also added in a bunch of extra scenes with flashbacks to the kids. So I guess it kind of makes sense that that would lengthen it out. Notoriously, the storyline of them as adults is the less interesting of the stories from the book, but I have faith that they'll be able to pull this off, and I think it'll be very good.
Yeah, I hope people enjoy it. It's yeah, almost 3 hours long. I'm like, whoa, okay. I mean, I'm not excited about it, but I think people who like it will enjoy it.
Yep, I'm very excited.
Yeah. Okay, good. All right. Then we have Hustlers on the 13th of September. So this one, I don't know, like a side of me, it's like, is this going to be sort of gritty? This also feels like a little bit of a Widows kind of a copycat. But Cardi B felt very annoying to me, and it's going to end up being more sort of like that movie Mad Money, that I didn't like very much with Diane Keaton and Katie Holmes and everything.
Mm.
Um, they want to learn how to pull off a scam kind of a thing, but it's just like, well, is it funny? It was another one. It's kind of like The Kitchen. It's very confusing.
Yeah, this was a movie I heard about in the spring. I thought they just started filming it in the spring, so I'm surprised it's being released already. But I was under the impression that the leads were going to be Jennifer Lopez, Cardi B, and Lizzo. And I was excited to see Lizzo, especially because I enjoy her music a lot and her personality. But really, Lizzo and Cardi B, I don't think they're huge characters in this. It's mostly about Jennifer Lopez and Constance Wu.
Mm.
But I do love Constance Wu, so that gives me some hope. But for the most part, I thought the trailer was a little boring and not what I expected. But I'm willing to give it a chance to prove me wrong.
Yeah, same with me. I'll give it a meh on that one.
Yeah, I'll give it a meh.
Okay, so then we have The Goldfinch, and this trailer, I ended up seeing Spider-Man Far From Home twice, and this trailer was before Spider-Man Far From Home both times, and I was just like, this is such a weird choice. I feel like to be before Spider-Man. I feel like if it feels, I hate the phrase Oscar baity, but this movie kind of feels Oscar baity. But I guess the book is popular. I haven't read the book. Um, it looks kind of boring to me, but hopefully it'll be good. I don't know.
Yeah, this is one that I don't have much of an opinion on after watching the trailer. I've seen this trailer a few times a long time ago, but it didn't leave an impression on me. So rewatching it, I was like, "Oh yeah, have we talked about this?" But I don't know. It doesn't do a lot for me. Maybe it will be better than it looks, but yeah, it does look like it looks like one of those movies that wants to be an Oscar bait movie but won't.
Yeah, I agree. That's actually exactly what I have in my notes. I said, Looks kind of boring and Oscar baity, but evidently but but it's not going to get there. And there's that evidently the book is a favorite, so who knows? Maybe there'll be more to it. I don't know, but I would say not excited about this one.
Yeah, not excited either.
So we have Ad Astra, and I don't know. This is so it's about this astronaut who's trying to find his father, and I think it looked interesting. I'm intrigued by it. Brad Pitt's a pretty good actor. I think it's one that's also been pushed back, but yeah, I thought it looked interesting. I thought it was a pretty good trailer. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, this was originally supposed to come out in January. It's been pushed back a few
Yeah.
times. Yeah, I feel like we've gotten quite a few of this type of movie in this decade. Like it's been very popular, but this just doesn't have the compelling story that a lot of the other ones had, like Interstellar or The Martian or Gravity. So I'm not really that intrigued by it. Um, I don't get a good sense of the plot from watching the trailer. It looks like it may be pretty, but mm, I- I'm kind of nervous for it.
Mm-hmm. It definitely has that potential. But I'm going to say excited. I hope it'll be a pleasant surprise. We'll see. But yeah, there are some red flags for sure.
Yes, definitely.
All right.
I'm meh.
Okay. Then also on the 20th is the Downton Abbey movie. And I am very excited about this movie. I love Downton Abbey. I loved the show. I stayed with it throughout the whole run of the show. I love the cast of the show. I think they get just that right balance of like sort of soap opera with I love period pieces. It's like one of my favorite with enough seriousness, I guess. It's not like it's certainly not campy, but it's definitely soapy at moments with some of the drama and other things. And I really enjoyed the dynamics between the downstairs and the upstairs, and things are changing. So the old sort of old guard of the elite of that time is now with the post World War One. Things are changing a lot, and they don't have the clout kind of that they used to, and so that's interesting. And I love the show, and I love Maggie Smith, and she's the best, and so I'm really really excited about this. I don't think
Yeah,
it'll have that much appeal to people who haven't watched the show, but I don't think it needs to. It's I don't it's not trying. I think
right.
it's making the movie for fans of the show.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm one of those people who's never watched this show. I don't really know anything about it. In fact, there's been times where I'm in the movie theater and I've seen these trailers a lot for this movie. And there was a time recently where I'm like, I'm gonna deliberately like pay attention and try to figure out what's going on here because I feel like this trailer is made for people who already know what the
Yeah.
show's about. So what I got from that is it's a hotel of some sort that they are at.
No,
No?
it's the house. That's their house. It's an
Okay.
estate. It's an estate. And so the queen is coming to visit
Right.
Downton
I got that part that the queen was coming to visit the hotel, I thought, and they were all getting prepared for that. So that
because
was my interpretation.
in the 19th century, these houses, if you they were kind of responsible for employing and helping kind of the whole town. So the show Downton Abbey starts with the sinking of the Titanic, then it goes through World War One. And kind of when World War One happened, a lot of those kinds, because everybody was fighting, whether you were, it's not aristocrat, that's the wrong word, but anyway, if you were part of the elite, you were fighting amongst somebody who was working class
Hmm.
in the war, and so that kind of leveled everything out. And so you might have somebody that's a lady's maid working in the Red Cross with the lady of the house, things like that. It just all kind of leveled everything out, and that's probably a good thing. But anyway, and so that's kind of part of what made the show interesting, and the writing was really great on the show. and they had some hard things with cast turnover that made a lot of people leave the show and get frustrated with the show, but I still really, really enjoyed it. And particularly Maggie Smith as this, she's the one that struggles as the oldest person in that she really struggles with this change and isn't able to kind of modernize the way that the other people are. So yeah, so it's that's what it's kind of about, the show. But
Okay.
I love it, so I'm definitely very hyped, very excited. I hope it'll be fun, but I think it is made for people who are fans of the show, which is fine, I think.
Makes sense. Yep.
So.
I'm not excited, but
All right. So then we have Rambo Last Blood. Talk about different than Downton Abbey. And I've never seen a Rambo movie in my life. This definitely felt like they're trying to Loganize Rambo. Would you agree?
I didn't actually get that, but you could be right. Yeah, I'd have to watch it again. This is a trailer though that I don't care enough to pay attention to, so
I don't know. It just felt like even in the color scheme and the
right.
sort of the hero on his last kind of. I mean, I haven't seen Logan, so what do I know? But I don't know. It just reminded me of in tone and feel of the Logan trailer.
Sorry, yeah, I forgot you haven't seen Logan, so that kind of took me aback for it's such a good movie, Rachel. I think you'd like it. But yeah. I guess I can see where you're coming from. Yeah, this is another one of those movies that I watched a trailer for and I just can't find any energy to care
Yeah,
because I don't have any investment in Rambo. I do have all the Rambo movies on DVD, just like I have all the Fast and Furious movies on DVD.
that's so
In
funny.
fact, here, I've never done this, but I'm in my living room and I have a ton of DVD shelves. So
Yeah.
here they
Oh
are.
my gosh, look at
In
that.
fact, they go all the way down my hallway.
Whoa.
I have over 3,100 DVDs, and I haven't seen about 1,100 of them. So
Oh, that's so funny. You should start doing video rentals.
I should.
um, okay, yeah, so I would say not excited.
Yeah,
But
I'm not excited at all.
yeah. So okay, then we have 21 Bridges. This is directed by the Russo brothers and or produced, and it stars Chadwick Boseman. And I thought this looked fine. It was like a police procedural, I
Mhm.
guess you might say. It looked fine to me.
Yeah, this is another one of those type of movies that I'm just not interested in.
Uh-huh.
But I did mention that there was one that I think actually looks kind of good, and that would be this one. The fact that the Russo brothers are directing it, and I thought they did so well with Endgame, and we have a really good cast. We got Chadwick Boseman, we got J.K. Simmons. There's a few others that are pretty good in there as well. Actually, watching the trailer, it's hard to make this comparison because I don't think it looks nearly as good, but it reminded me of one of my top 5 movies ever, and that is The Dark Knight. I don't know why, but I got the Dark Knight vibes
Mhm.
from it. I
Well, I
think,
mean, The Dark Knight is a crime movie, so
yeah,
yeah.
and them like closing off the city, kind of like they did in with Gotham in The Dark Knight. Uh, I don't know. I don't think it will be even close to as good, but I think it will be good. So there's that.
Hmm. Yeah. It's. I mean, I'm gonna give it an excited. I feel like it has potential. We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really in between Met and excited, but I'll give an excited, which is surprising for me. But yeah, I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt for now.
Okay. Next, we have Abominable, and this is really interesting situation because this movie they have a new studio at DreamWorks in China, DreamWorks China. This is their first movie that they have released, and I think it looks cheap. It didn't look great as far as the animation, but it looks sweet enough. I mean, it's definitely a story we've seen a ton of times with the person finding the mysterious creature, the little kid finding the mysterious creature and trying to hide it, take care of it, whatever kind of a thing. That's definitely pretty played out, but it looked cute enough to me, but it does also look kind of cheap.
I see what you're saying. I don't have as much of a high standard for some of these DreamWorks films. It wasn't Home DreamWorks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it reminds me a lot of Home, which I kind of enjoyed. But yeah, I think it looks decent. I thought it was kind of odd that Snowman would be in Asia. Isn't that a North American thing? Maybe.
Like I think the Yetis and stuff is more like Mongolia and stuff like
Oh,
Siberia
really?
and Russia and stuff. May I'm not sure. I don't know my.
I mean, Russia's Asia, so I guess that's close enough.
But it is really weird that we've had like all of these Yeti movies. It's so weird,
It
like
is really weird.
Smallfoot and Missing Link, and now
Mhm.
this. Like what? It's so weird.
Yeah, it is weird, but I think it looks decent. So, and I like that this Yeti or this abominable snowman seems to have like a bunch of other powers. So
Hmm.
that could add an interesting element. But yeah, I'll give it an excited.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a meh, but I hope it'll be a pleasant surprise. It's been a really weird year for animation. There's been a few things I've liked more than most people, but I don't know. There's been some good stuff, but I don't know, it's just been weird overall. So then on the 27th we have Judy. I really disliked this trailer. I thought that I do not understand why you have Renee Zellweger pretending to sing like Judy Garland, one of the best singers to ever live. And I just really disliked her performance, her portrayal. It felt very, I don't know, very like showy to me and not, it didn't feel authentic to me. I was just very irritated by it. And I just can't get over the fact that they wouldn't use Judy's singing. I thought that that was a terrible choice. And I don't think Renee Zellweger is a very good singer. And so I do not like this trailer at all. I was very irritated by it, and I don't think I'm going to like this movie at all.
Yeah, you highlighted my issue with the trailer. My only issue with it is the fact that she doesn't sound like Judy Garland to me, not even close. Judy Garland has such a distinct voice and vibrato, and
Yeah.
that just doesn't come across here. And if you don't have that, you don't have Judy Garland. So I don't even need to hear like Judy's real voice, but maybe find somebody who actually sounds like her and use their voice. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
It felt
mm,
very lifetimey to me, this trailer.
okay.
It did. I thought it felt like a TV movie.
Hmm,
And not a good TV movie. I didn't like it, and I'll probably get all kinds of awards and stuff because
probably.
not for me. I'm definitely not excited. Although it's pretty early in the season. I mean, I'm sure they will really, really advertise heavy for her to get a nomination, but uh, I was not impressed with what I saw, but we'll
Mhm.
see.
Meh
Um,
for me.
yeah, definitely not excited for me. Okay, so then we have The Hunt. This is basically these people get put onto this island. They're going like big game hunting, they think, and it turns out they're actually on the island to be hunted. And I think that's an interesting premise for a horror movie. I thought it looked okay.
Yeah, I saw a trailer recently in the theater and I couldn't find that on YouTube. I just found this short teaser on YouTube that didn't really show anything. But yeah, I think it looks pretty good. It kind of reminds me of Ready or Not, kind of the whole premise of hunting people. Yeah, it reminds me of what was it? There was a short story I read in college that was basically the same premise, but I think it could be good. There's high variance on this as well, so we'll see. But I'm excited for now.
Yeah, I think I could actually, depending on how violent it is, and it looks pretty violent. I could go see this one. It could be an out of my comfort zone pick. We'll see
Mhm.
if it's fun, if it's a good little thriller. But so I guess considering not my genre, I would say mildly excited. I guess
Okay.
intrigued. Okay, so then we have Joker, and this is on the 4th of October, and you've got Joaquin Phoenix playing the Joker. This is not part of the DCU. This is its own thing. It's a standalone movie, and there's not going to be like Batman's not going to be in it, and it's just going to be the origin story of Joker. And I think it looks pretty good. I like the trailers. Definitely looks, looks like it has its moments that'll be pretty scary. But I don't know. You're not that excited about it?
Well, no, that's at first when I saw it, I was not sold, but I'm warming up to it.
Uh huh.
The Joker's such an iconic character, and Jack Nicholson nailed it. And then we were lucky enough to have Heath Ledger come back and do an incredible job. And it almost feels like an untouchable role for me. Jared Leto was very disappointing with his portrayal. So I don't know. I want it to be good, but it almost feels like something I don't want anybody to touch. But I'm going to give it a chance. I think the trailer actually does look pretty good. Um, there are parts where I see Joaquin Phoenix acting, especially with the laugh. It feels forced,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it will probably be good.
I
So,
mean, so they're going to be opening this movie at TIFF, I believe,
right.
and I think they have a lot of confidence in it, which doesn't necessarily mean it will be good, but it's always nice when they have confidence in a property.
Mhm.
So we'll see. It's kind of interesting them doing this standalone idea.
It is. So yeah, I like I said, I'm hopeful. So I'll say I'm excited.
Okay, me too. Okay, so then we have Gemini Man, and this is we get two Will Smiths. I did not like this trailer at all. I felt like they were just the only thing they had really going for it was the technologies. They're just selling the technology, and the technology is not going to make a good movie for me. You have to have a good story, and the story did not look interesting. And I just felt like it felt like are we getting two of sort of what was that movie with Will Smith where I felt like this is we're getting sort of iRobot kind of again, but not as good, and that's not even that good. And I don't just this feels like a big step down to me from Aladdin. I mean, I didn't even like Aladdin that much, but as far as Will Smith's charisma and like I don't know, I feel like he's not very good playing this like serious type. Like he's way better doing comedy. And I don't know, it just looked boring to me. It didn't look great, but Ang Lee's a good director, so maybe I don't know. I wasn't high on the trailer.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. I'm a bit more excited about it than you. I am actually really impressed with the technology and how they've made Will Smith look young. Like when I first saw this trailer, I was like, wait, what? Why is Will Smith so young looking all of a sudden? So that really caught me off guard. But I think it looks intriguing. It kind of reminds me of Looper. Not exactly the same premise there, but I don't know. I think it'll be decent, and I do trust Ang Lee for the most part.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Yeah, I didn't like the trailer, but who knows?
Mm.
Okay, so then we have Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. This trailer is just so confusing because she wasn't evil like at all. That was the whole point supposedly of the first movie was that to tell her side of the story and how she was literally like the savior basically of everybody, and she was the one who was true love's kiss for Aurora. And oh, I did not like the original Maleficent. I think it's just the worst. And I just don't even understand this movie. Like, what? Did they forget what happened in the first movie? I don't know. I mean, I guess the cast is pretty good with Michelle Pfeiffer. And so, but definitely not excited.
Mm. Yeah, this trailer surprisingly didn't leave much of an impression on me, and I say surprisingly because I did like Maleficent. Um, I think there's a lot of room for interpretation on what Mistress of Evil means. I mean, she could be the mistress of evil and not like an evil mistress. But I don't know. I think, yeah. I think my concern is that the trailer really didn't give me much of a plot or much of a reason to care or to want to see this. I mean, I will see it, obviously, but
Because
I'm
they
not.
like have her laughing and stuff, like as if she's like you would think that she was the same character from the animated film, but obviously she's not because she wasn't supposedly a villain at all. And there was, so it's just very confusing. I don't understand.
Yeah, maybe she has that evil turn in this movie. I don't know.
Ugh. So yes, definitely not excited for me. Uh,
I'll say meh,
okay.
but it's
Then
a
we
high meh.
Okay, then we have the Adams Family on the 18th, and I actually think this looks charming. I'm hoping it'll be a fun little surprise. I forget which studio is releasing it. I don't think it's one of the major ones, but I don't know. I thought it looked charming.
Yeah. Um, yeah,
No?
so I love the 90s Addams Family movies, and
Yeah.
when I heard about this coming out, I was pretty excited. After watching the trailer, it feels kind of like a TV thing. Um, I don't know. It just feels like a lot of the voice acting is pretty forced, or I don't know. There was just something so natural about Angelica Houston as Morticia that I'm just not getting from Charlize Theron. Um, I don't know. I'm just very meh on this as well.
I hope it'll be a surprise. I like the sort of the styling of it,
Hmm.
and but it'll come down to that script and if the script is good. So we'll have to see. But yeah, like I said, it's been a weird year for animation, so it'd be fun if this was a pleasant surprise. But we'll
Yep.
see.
Hopefully.
Okay, then we have Zombieland 2 Double Tap. And I was, spoiler alert to our wrap up, summer wrap up. I was very disappointed in The Dead Don't Die. I did not think that movie was good at all. And this, I think, looks maybe more of what I was hoping that The Dead Don't Die would be, like actually funny. And I liked the first one, and I thought it looked fun. I liked the trailer.
Mhm. Yeah, Zombieland is actually probably my favorite zombie movie. I can't think of anything I like better. It's one of my favorite movies of 2009. I've been wanting a sequel so bad for years and years, and it's finally here. And the trailer dropped just in time a few days ago before we recorded this. So everything worked out well. I was getting nervous that a trailer hadn't come out yet. I'm like, please don't delay again. But yeah, I think it looks really good. I don't see quite the spark that I got with the first movie, but really it's hard for sequels to live up to the first. But I'm very optimistic about this and I'm very excited about it.
Very good. Yeah, so I would definitely say excited. And so, last one that we have is Bad Trip, and this is actually from like the Jackass crew.
Yes, it
Okay.
is.
It's definitely this was all these pranks and live reactions and things. Definitely not for me. But if you like these kind of things, then I guess you'll like it. But I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, I see what you're saying. It's mostly not for me either. I've never been really big into the Jackass films or show. I think this looks a little bit better. It's not just people getting hurt, which I really don't like just watching people get hurt. That's not fun. Um, so this looks a little bit funnier, but still not great. Man, we're really going out on a high here, aren't we?
Yeah. So there you go. What would you say is your most anticipated of these films?
I mean, I have a clear top two or three here. Probably number one is It Chapter Two, followed by Zombieland Two, and then my third one would actually probably be hmm, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, maybe.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Mine would definitely be Downton Abbey and Blinded by the Lights. I've already seen it. It's a little cheat, but those are probably my of these ones that I'm most looking forward to. Yeah, and I actually, I think the Adams Family looks really fun. I'm excited for that as an animation fan. But yeah, definitely Blinded by the Light, Downton Abbey, my two most anticipated for sure.
Okay. Yeah. I'm trying to look and see if there's anything. There's really not a lot that I'm that excited about. I mean, if I had to round out a top five, I might say Ready or Not and Joker.
Yeah, there's a lot more that I'm dreading, like Judy and Maleficent too,
Right.
and things like that. So,
Yeah.
anyway, well, this was fun nonetheless to talk about. So, if you're listening, let us know what you think about these different movies. Are you looking forward to it? Not looking forward to it? Where would you rank your excitement level on all these films? Love to hear your thoughts, and we'll be back soon doing the wrap up once we finish out July and get everything ready. So that will be a lot of fun. And so hopefully there'll be some fun surprises that will be better than we think. But anyway, it's always fun to talk these trailers and talk about these movies with you, David.
Yes, I agree. I always enjoy it. Even when there's a lot of movies I'm not excited
Yeah, I know. So very good. Well, how can people follow you online and everything?
You can find me on Twitter, the David Healy. You can also find both of us on Facebook and Film Freaks. It's Facebook group, facebook.com/Film Freaks Group.
Great. And you can follow me at Rachel's Reviews, all over social media and iTunes and YouTube. If you're listening on iTunes, if you can give us your ratings and reviews. If you're listening, watching on YouTube, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate that. And and consider becoming a patron. We have a lot of fun, and and make sure you get your
Yes,
yes,
buy one of these shirts.
yes. There's smile worthy and frown worthy. So you can have either one or both, even better. Uh, so yeah, check out the Patreon, check out the merch store. It's a lot of fun, and we really appreciate that so much. So thanks so much, and we will talk again soon.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.